I'm 17. I can't do no wrong.
Yeah.
I'm going in the neighborhood. I'm getting free food. Whatever I want to do. Every college coach in America was coming to my school. Pete Carroll came on a helicopter to see me in high school. And then I go from all that, the calling, to try to recruit me, and then it stopped. And I was like, yo, nobody really cares about me.
We're living in the good old days.
Welcome to the Glory Daze, an Almost Friday Media original. I'm your host, Johnny Manziel. Today we have an awesome guest, one of the most electrifying running backs from the 2010s, a guy who I had the pleasure of getting to watch as I was growing up, a two-time Super Bowl champion and an absolute legend, LeSean "Shady" McCoy. So obviously the podcast called Glory Daze for you. I mean, what do you think your Glory Days were looking back now that you're not playing anymore? What do you think the peak of it was?
By the way, this is a good like title, right, for your podcast. Glory Days. I would probably say some of my Philadelphia days, right? And although I had some good years in Buffalo, I think just the team wasn't as good or hyped up in that market. You know, football's all about the market. And Philadelphia's a big market. So I would say probably my Eagle days with myself, DeSean Jackson. We had Macklin. We had Michael Vick, right? Andy Reid for some years and Chip Kelly. So that was probably my glory days.
It doesn't get much better than that. I mean, looking at those teams, those guys, like just true legends. I mean, getting a chance to go in. You had McNabb your first year, right? Obviously.
McNabb, my rookie year, yeah.
And then you get a couple years of Mike Vick, and then you hit your little Chip Kelly window in there.
Yeah.
You know, at times, like early on, just you were compared to Barry a little bit. I know you didn't necessarily like love it at the time. You know, looking back now, you know, where do you put yourself on the list of being one of the best running backs in the NFL history?
Oh, for sure. One of them guys. The Barry Sanders thing is like, he's so great.
It's tough.
Yeah,
because
he's so
it's
great.
Barry.
You know, so I never really like to, I'm like a realist, right? I'm always trying to be honest. I think that's what I try to separate myself from other players. Even if I'm friends with dudes, as a player, I always was honest, you know? And I never liked the comparison with Barry. Now, the crazy thing is, when I was a kid, when he retired, I remember crying to my mom like, dang, he's retiring. She looked at me like, boy, you got to school tomorrow. Get your ass in bed, you know? So
it didn't come out of nowhere, bro. He was retired out of the blue for the most part.
He was so good, like, just the moves. I remember practicing his moves when I was a kid, just the in and out moves, the shake moves, and I try to like model my game after him, you know. But the comparisons is, I know I do think that like when I'm done and I'm looking at all the stuff I've done, like I just got inducted to the Eagles Hall of Fame.
Yeah, congrats on that.
November. You know, we celebrating that, but just, you know, I got some good accolades, some good numbers, right? I think I would like to think that like my type of style of football, you might not see for another 15 years, right?
You probably won't. How'd it feel after getting that call? And, you know, was it mean to be inducted as a Philly Eagles legend forever?
You know, I had an idea because when I left Philadelphia, you know, you watch the games to see how they doing, right? You know what I mean? And I haven't seen a 25 jersey on the field since I left. So I knew something was up. When Mr. Laurie, the owner, called me and said, I need to talk to you tomorrow. It's very important. This is years after. I'm like, all right, well, no, let's talk. Because we always had a great relationship. And then I say, I want to tell you that this doesn't happen often, but we're going to induct you to the Eagle Hall of Fame. And I just, you know, it was emotional because it's like, you don't ever think of stuff like that. Because like, you don't ever think of that.
No, you're not thinking of that going into it, right? You get drafted, you're going there. You're not thinking that this may be the case one day. It's something you probably hope for.
I mean, not even hope for, because you don't even think of it. Like, the Eagles been around for years. There's been a million running backs that played there, right? And I played really well, but you always think that there's somebody else that's going to come and be the next this, the next that. And then for them to, like, you know, do that, man, that was special. It's a great honor for sure.
I think one of the coolest things I saw throughout the entire 2010s, nobody had more touchdowns, more rushing yards, more, total yards. Like, and you got to do that for 6 years, obviously, in a Philly jersey. So much love, man. Congrats on being able to go back, do that, celebrate that, because it is something that, you know, will last for eternity.
And that's what you call an all-decade player. You know what I mean? Get the numbers right, baby.
So Barry, you know, as a kid looking up, who were the guys that you looked at that were, you know, who you wanted to play? Like, obviously Barry was one. I think that's for anybody in our little age window. Yeah, so Barry was one, right? You know, I got some dudes that people don't even really would know, like Gale Sayers, right? Of course. He's a lot older than us, but I remember watching his tape like, dang, you telling me dudes like that was moving like that back then? Back in the day.
You know? Marshall Faulk was another one I was like super impressed with. Another one is LaDainian Tomlinson. And these guys I remember like meeting, and I remember playing the Jets. I was in the Eagles, and he just got over there. And I remember talking to him, right? In my head, I'm like, damn, yo, that's LT. He talking to me like we know each other. I'm thinking like, yo, he know me. That was like my first reaction, like, damn, this dude knows who I am. So LT was the mixture of like power and speed and quickness and elusiveness and all that. So those probably are my top dudes. And I was a crazy Reggie Bush fan.
Yep.
When he was in college, I seen the Heisman over there, and he was one of them dudes. I was like, yo, there can't be nobody better than him. So those probably my top guys.
I think for me, what you're talking about with that LT thing, I remember Mike Vick's, one of his last years was in Pittsburgh, and our first game of the season, he was the backup, and I remember walking across the field in the same type of way, him talking to me like he knew me in my whole life growing up. That's the person who I wanted to play football like. So getting a chance to see like a legend like that who knows who you are whenever you're, a young kid coming into the league is something that sticks with you forever, really.
What's funny is like, yo, you become a fan of certain players and you don't know them, and then when you meet them, the majority of the time you're like, yo, I can't believe I met this dude. And sometimes you get like, oh, this dude's an asshole, right? Yeah. But like, I look at you, talk to you now you've been through a lot and all that, and you're older, but it's like speaking to you. A lot of players became fans of you the way you played. So I'm saying like your mannerisms and like your calmness, but on the field, like all the muddy stuff and all that, like it don't even, like I don't translate. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Same thing probably with Mike, where Mike had a lot going on, right? Mike was the best teammate. Mike Vick, but the way he played the game, and then if you take the helmet off, the shoulder pads off, and you just chilling at dinner, he's so calm, he's so humble. You know what I mean? It's like it don't even relate. So seeing you like this is like,
I think you get that little bit of that. You have your off field of who you are as a person, and then what makes you the player who you are on the field. And you kind of have to kick in and flip that little switch of, and when you're out there, to turn into some kind of whatever dog that it may be a little bit.
I guess my thing though is like why I guess it's like a big thing to see that, because I'm the same on the field like I'm off the field. Like I talk trash, the swagger is the same way. Doing this interview, we'll be in the field. You know what I mean? Like I play with to talk highly of you, Joe Hayden.
That's my guy.
I played with him in high school. We beat their ass in high school, and the same way he was in high school, he's the same way in the league. Nice dude, competitive, but a good person. You know what I mean? That's why I brought that up.
They don't get much better than Joe Hayden, bro. Man. He was amazing, like really instrumental for me whenever I got to Cleveland. Like, I'm this really hyped up person coming into the league, and I don't really know which way is what. And Joe is so chill and calm and laid back that he pretty much just took me under his wing, teaching me the ropes of what it's like to be.
Because y'all stay in the same condo, right? Or something like that?
Yeah, we still, getting into Cleveland, there's, Cleveland's a tough city to kind of be in as it is. But, he showed me the ropes of where to eat, what to do, how to play all these card games that you play in the locker room and shit. So Joe was huge for me coming into the league and showing me here's what it is. Here's, you got to have a guy that kind of takes you under your wing.
I don't want to, this is your interview and obviously, but I guess players of your magnitude, just questions I want to ask you just real quick. Cause I've never been in that limelight until I got to the league. Right. How was it though? Cause I've been critical of different players. Right. And then I had a good friend of mine who was super hyped up. Right. And he was explaining to me yo, people don't really understand how it is to come into as a 20-year-old kid with super hype in the league. Now you get money, and it's I can't even move around the same compared to a player like me, where I was hyped up in high school, but I went to Pitt, not as big school, right? And then I could be on the radar hanging out with girls, with money, with partying. And then once I became a star at 23, 24, I had some time to really understand how can I move, where can I do this at? And I want to ask you that because how is that?
I think for me, mine happened so young. I was 18, just turned 19 whenever I won the Heisman. So it went from, 1 year going into could do whatever I wanted. Could walk into anywhere. Nobody knew who I was. I win the job in, a month in the fall. And then by that December, I'm walking across the stage in New York. So it all happened really in a 6-month period. And then to be in a town like College Station where it was very fishbowl, very all eyes were on me. I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't go out, couldn't do a whole lot. And I was getting into the day and age where social media was becoming a thing. So
another one,
Snapchat, you would go do anything or try and have a party at the house or do anything, and it would be online the next day. And you would get on Twitter, you would get on this, and everything you were doing as a normal college student was now broadcast to the world the next day. So it very much turned into a fishbowl kind of life for me. And then getting, you go to the NFL, I get to a place like Cleveland, and it felt really, really similar to being in a small town like College Station was.
Right.
Everything, going to the grocery store, doing anything. There was no hiding from it. And I think a lot of the time back then, that's what I wanted to do the most, was just to try and get back to being normal and just not have to, have that pressure of being on 24/7. I wish I would have got a little bit more of a chance to ease my way into that, but that's, everybody's path is a little different in how it goes. You were growing up, you were a kid, was it always football? You want to be a hooper? You want to?
Oh, so my real sport is basketball.
Yeah?
Yeah, you know what? You haven't seen me play, so this visualize, like Allen Iverson / you know what I'm saying, Kyrie Irving, that was your boy. But I like basketball more. It's crazy because if you ever watch me really play, I always have the ball out.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
So that was really my sport. And in football, I was short.
You never really fumbled a whole lot. I didn't really fumble a whole lot either, but the ball and the way you carry the ball, it's almost like a balancing kind of thing, at the end of the day. So I always loved watching you play, and obviously carrying the ball like that was something to me that I was like, damn, I want to be able to emulate that a little bit.
I broke my ankle in high school, right? So I didn't always have the ball like that.
Yep.
But look, when I was shaking dudes, they would be out, but not all the time. So I broke my right ankle in high school. And ever since then, it never really healed correctly. I don't not healed, but the rehab.
Yep.
So people don't know is that I ran like that to balance. So if you got one leg that's not as strong as the other one and you're trying to walk straight, it's not the same. So I will balance with the ball out.
That's how I felt doing it too. But I mean, obviously, crazy style is so unique. I mean, not a lot of people ran that way. And obviously to not turn the ball over. I mean, I'm sure you had coaches yelling at you from the beginning of time like that to be like, you got to carry the butts high and tight. It's this and that,
You know what's crazy is that's why I always say you could be a good player and do well in the league, but you could be a great player if you have a really good coach. Yeah. I had Andy Reid, and there's no better coach than Andy Reid. Bill Belichick, all them dudes, no. Andy's that guy, right? And we could talk about X's and O's, but it was simple things like when coaches be like, hey, tuck the ball. When I first got there as a rookie, I was 20. I was the youngest dude in the league when I came in. And he would tell him, no, let him play his game, because that's what got him here. You know what I'm saying? Now, if I would fumble, he'd be like, all right.
Yeah.
But Patrick Mahomes, if you look at him in Texas Tech, he was a gunslinger. He was he's doing this, he's doing that. Andy Reid, what he did was, okay, I'm going to calm me down a little bit, but I want you to go out there and be that Patrick Mahomes, because that's what we got you for.
100%.
A lot of coaches, I hate when they bring you from college, they scout you and all this stuff.
They know who you are.
Know who you are, right? They bring you to the league and want you to confine to what they doing. That don't even make sense. You know what I mean? Like you brought me here because you know what I do. Yep. He's one of them coaches that he will always say, his favorite line is he'll break this stuff down, go out there, play good. He always say, hey, let your personality show and be yourself. That's always his last saying before we go play.
I love that. I mean, obviously Andy Reid, one of the biggest legends, but for him to be able to do that and let guys, I mean, you see it. I think that's a huge reason why they're so successful. I mean, he's let Pat be himself. He let you be himself. I mean,
look at Travis. Yeah, last year, he bumped him a little bit. Yeah, and everybody made a big deal. But if you play for Andy, he likes that. Yeah, like he would say stuff. I might have 185 yards, right? 2 touchdowns. Like I'm killing it, and it might be in the fourth quarter. And maybe we up by 10 points, but we win in the game. Yep. I might be on the bike or something. He might walk over and say stuff like, oh, what you done? Oh, you think you did enough? And walk off. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
So just to keep you motivated, you need them type of coaches, because everybody can't last. You know what I mean?
Of course. I mean, you have to have your own unique style to the whole thing, because, I mean, as you know, at times the NFL season, it gets a little monotonous. At times it gets a little bit boring. If you don't have a guy who, brings that energy and brings a better vibe to it, can get a little stale at times. Yeah,
and it's the times are different. I had him when I was 20 years old, and he was he was strict, but he was always just fair. You know what I'm saying? And some coaches be extra strict for no reason. Yep. When I say strict with Andy, he's hey, if I say run this route at 10 yards, be at 10 yards, right? He didn't really fine, because we're going to do everything the right way. But he still had the cool side where we can talk and rap. So I get him at 20 years old, and then I get him in 2019 when I leave Buffalo. He was a little different, but he still could adjust to the social media, to the dudes being out. They were more entitled. Yep. He still found a way to gel with that, right?
Relate to it.
You know what I mean? Everybody can't do that. Like a Belichick, good coach, But as the times went on, he stayed the same. Instead of adjusting, you get what I'm saying?
You have to. The league definitely is changing a lot, especially with how kids are, new wave, new generation.
Social media, you got the phones, everything is like, every coach don't like that. And Andy Reid ain't no young dude.
Not at all. So he's been around the block for a minute.
Yeah.
So you end up going to Pitt. As I read, Miami was maybe a place you were thinking about going originally.
So in high school, I was a 5-star All-American dude, and it's so crazy that my host. So I went to USC was one of my official visits, and Reggie Bush was my host. He was this was Reggie Bush. I'm talking about
how was that?
Now the NIL's out, I can really talk. You know what I mean? Reggie's my guy, but I remember going to the mall with Reggie after the game. We get into the mall, right? I got my uncle with me, and I ain't even had no money like that, you know. But I look good.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? He thought I had some money on me.
For sure.
The dude closed the store down. He looked at me and Reggie said, "Hey, get what y'all want." I'm like, oh. He in college, you know what I mean? So I'm like, yo. So when I be telling people this story, like, yo, Reggie Bush was the biggest star I've ever seen when I was like 17 years old. I remember seeing like different chicks and all that was going crazy, you know? Yeah. So that shit was like motivational. So SC was one of them, and then Larry Coker, the Miami head coach, he was a beast, won some championships, and I was out of them too, right? I remember Pitt walking in to recruit me. I'm like, look, man. Come on, guys. Seriously. Like,
I could be out of SC.
Like, y'all know I'm not coming to Pitt, But then I get hurt my senior year, and I went from like 70 scholarships to like 3. I remember Virginia Tech kind of wanted me. After I got hurt, they kind of wanted me. Penn State, that's an in-state school.
Yep.
They liked me, and then Pitt. I remember going to the visits in Penn State. They had Paterno still. I wasn't really a Penn State dude. I'll just say that to be respectful, And then I went to Pitt, which I was gonna go to Penn State just because it's a big school.
Yep.
And to Pitt, and it felt right. Like Coach Wanstead was an amazing coach. Everything he told me was like, hey man, he told me that I'm gonna give you a chance to get your name back. Get that feeling back, right? Because I broke my ankle and I went to prep school and I didn't really have no real offers for real.
How'd that feel going from having 70 offers wherever you want to go in the country to being like people coming back and pulling them, rescinding offers, and like you've already taken visits, you've already done this whole thing? That's got to be, as a young kid, you got to be like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, stuff like that. I get emotional thinking about it because, that was like my first real test of saying like, damn, like people are not nice.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I'll go
from... it's all about what you can do for them at that time.
Bro, it's crazy. I'm 17. I can't do no wrong.
Yeah.
I'm going in the neighborhood. I'm getting free food, whatever I want to do. And then every college coach in America was coming to my school. Pete Carroll came on a helicopter to see me in high school, right? And then I go from all that, the calling, to try to recruit me, and then it stopped. And I was like, yo, nobody really cares about me. And I was hurt for a while, but I'm happy it happened because now when I made it, I felt I know how to treat people. But that shit, it's not a good feeling. That's not a good feeling.
And then you get a chance to end up obviously going to Pitt. You get to a place where you said you feel like, this feels like a little bit of home.
Yeah.
Football season is back, and my partner Underdog wants to make it a lot more exciting for you. Join the millions of fans who played on Underdog last year. With their Pick'em game, you can win up to 1,000 times your money by making sports picks. It's time to turn those takes into cash by going higher or lower on player stats, like touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, and plenty more to choose from. Submit entries including NFL, college football, or mix and match across your other favorite sports to win big. Here are my money picks of the week. Underdog is available in 30 plus states, including California, Florida, Texas, and even Canada. So what are you waiting for? Sign up now and deposit using promo code Johnny to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash and a free pick. How was that when you get there? You had a great first year there. Like, was it a bit of adjustment getting there from?
You know what? I went to prep school because I was just depressed in high school because I broke my ankle. My scholarships was gone, so my grades slipped. Like I didn't care about school at that point. So I go to prep school. My parents held me down, right? And then like Pitt, they was consistent of like hitting me up, and I'm like, damn, maybe I should go here, right? So I go there. Coach Wanstead was an NFL coach. He played with Ricky Williams, all these great players. And he always would throw this NFL thing at me because he knew I wanted to be there. And he seen it. I kind of was like, maybe I'm not going to go to the NFL. Like nobody wants me.
Yep.
Go there. He's hyped me up with confidence. So then I started actually. I beat the guy out. I start starting, and I started balling. right? And Pitt was a place where like I don't know if you ever hung out in Pittsburgh.
No, I haven't spent a lot of time.
But it's a
in Pitt.
city of like good people, but it's tough.
Yeah.
That blue collar they talk about, that's what it is in Pitt. So it helped me to be tough. Being around that Steeler nation and like watching the freaking Palomalus and all them guys, and because our facilities are right next to each other. See how they practice, see how they greet each other, see how they train. So it was a good thing to go to Pitt because I think the player I was before I got injured, I don't know if I would have made it because I was tough, but I was in that like superstar attitude, right? And I think when I got hurt, it changed me to being like a gladiator. Like, yo, like nobody care about you for real but your parents, right? And if you don't ball, what are you gonna do? Right, what are you gonna do? So it made me get like that. It made me get tougher. It made me work harder. It made me want it. So making it it felt better because I actually worked for that. So I thank Pittsburgh, man, because they really like helped me out. I probably should stay one more year, but I mean, I
saw that. You said you wanted to come back and then ended up a little on the fence about it.
So we went there with I forget the guy's name, the GM at the time, but I
was confused at first because you only had 2 years that you were at Pitt. And normally you have to stay 3, but it's only 3 years removed from high school. Yep. So the prep school counted as a year being away.
Larry Fitzgerald did it.
Okay,
right. So I remember I don't know. Like the coaches was cool and everything was good, and I thought that I probably would have had a chance to really. I thought I was gonna get no Heisman, but I'm like, ain't nobody want no Heisman at Pitt, Yeah. So I leave. Frank Gore at the time, right? So my brother played in the pros too.
Yep.
He was like a journeyman type, right? Practice squad and stuff, et cetera. So I remember he was telling him and Frank got cool, and he's like, "Yo, my brother gonna be the man. I'm telling you." So I remember talking to Frank Gore on the phone. So somehow, some way we connected. And I was like, "You think I should come out of school?" I don't know if you know Frank Gore or not. He like, "Dog, hell yeah, dog, right? Get that money, dog." So I'm like, "All right, I'm out, right?" So I go to the league and shit, and I remember like playing in college was cool. I guess now it would have been different because they getting paid now.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm getting my body beat up because we ain't had no quarterbacks. We had no quarterbacks.
You guys were running a little bit of Wildcat and stuff too, huh?
Man, I was playing quarterback, right? So I was like, I'm gonna get some money, man. I'm getting hit. My fucking knees hurting, and So I leave, and that's why I really left because it's like it didn't make no more sense to stay there, because like you probably stayed for like playing for like championships or Heismans. We didn't have none of that.
Yeah, I think after my 2 years looking at like what the draft looked like, obviously having a chance it was about going in the first round, right? It was like somewhat of a weak quarterback draft class that year for me. Like I wasn't this big 5-star guy who came out and was like expecting to go play my 3 years, start right away in college, and then go to the NFL. It was like, my rise happened so fast. I'm like, damn, I may really have a chance to go get drafted and be able to like go play in the NFL.
Oh, so that's how you left out? Okay.
For the most part, yeah. I mean, me and Mike came in together. Obviously, a guy who, you send your papers in, you see how it's going to be. You come back with a 1-2. I'm like, shit, I might be able to go play in the league. 1-2 is probably good enough for me.
Was he highly recruited?
Mike was a 3-star recruit, wasn't highly recruited at all. We recruited him really late. He was a basketball player. So we all thought Mike was going to go play basketball somewhere. Loved him. Yeah. Loves him. But Mike had only played, when he got to A&M, he had only played football for 2 or 3 years.
You serious?
Yeah.
Whoever that recruiter is that got you and Mike in the same, I didn't know he was in the same class.
Same class.
I thought he was a year older. I don't know why I thought that.
Same class, 2011.
That's pretty good.
Really, and the thing about it was like all the first round picks that we had at A&M, we had 3 linemen that were taken in the first round, me, Mike, all recruited by Mike Sherman. And then Mike Sherman got fired. And then Sumlin came in.
They fired him with getting on them players?
We went 6-6 in my redshirt year, mine and Mike's redshirt year. We went 6-6. They fired him, and then Kevin Sumlin walked into a team full of
the black dude. I don't remember, but I liked him though.
Yeah,
I liked the black.
And we had Kingsbury too as our offensive coordinator, which was huge.
Okay.
He was our
He's good, bro.
Year. He's great.
He's doing really well. Yeah,
so for us, that was like, and after he left, for me, it was kind of like, damn, I don't get a chance to have this guy coach me anymore. I felt like it was the time for me to. Go to the league and get out.
That makes sense.
Who do you think your top 5 Pitt players are all time?
We got a lot of them dudes. I don't know if I make that cut. I don't make that cut, actually.
You don't think so?
Nah. See, one thing about me, I can be honest. You know what I mean? I love myself for sure, but I'm honest. I would go Aaron Donald. I was talking to Aaron Donald today. Aaron Donald. I'm going Larry Fitzgerald. I'm going Darrelle Revis. I'm going Dan Marino. and I'm going Tony Dorsett.
I knew Tony was probably going to be in there at the end of that. That's a hell of a lineup.
Yo, this is nothing about people don't know about Pitt. What people don't know about Pitt. We might not have like the best overall university. Well, if you put our best against any other team's best, it'll be like a real fighting shot. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Like,
for sure.
If you was going on the list of players, running backs, wide receivers, defensive players, like we'll be in that. Will be a good argument.
Just on that list that you gave in itself is just some all-time like legends at the position.
And I'm
all
missing
the way
out some really, really good ones. You know what I mean? But them 5 is probably the best. You played with Deion Lewis?
Yep.
Deion
I
was
played with
good.
Deion Lewis.
Yeah, we got some players.
I think the funny thing for me is like looking back now what Aaron Donald did with like his whole career. I remember going to the College Football Awards 2012 and like seeing this guy and I'm like, damn, okay, like it's not the biggest. And then we end up going into the draft together and they take him. The Rams end up taking him.
Oh, y'all are the same.
We're in the same draft class, and just seeing what he turned out to be, man.
His mentality though, like if you ever like know him as a friend, he was one of my good friends. His mentality, like I can see why you're that because if you really, he gonna get mad if I say this. I'm gonna just say it. I mean, all right, brother. Yo, he played at like 250 sometimes, 260 as a 3-tech.
Yeah, crazy.
So when you sing, you like, oh, he ain't that. I mean, he ain't even.
I mean, if you would use the word relentless with that dude, like just unbelievably crazy,
Bro,
like
good, quick, fast, strong. Now he's strong as hell.
Crazy hands though too, man. For a 3-tech, like nobody could really get their hands on.
If you call him like, if you just talking about, because like he's smaller, you know what I mean, compared to them dudes. Because this dude's his side or his position be like fat, stomachs,
320.
Yeah, so he'll like to call him small, you know, like maybe what's he say, undersized. You know what I mean, for his position.
He still had a lot left in the tank too. Like crazy amount left in the tank too.
You talking about him like let me get this. So 10 years running, he got 10 Pro Bowls. I think he got 8 or 9 All Pros. 3 Defense Players of the Year.
It's crazy.
Like, come on.
Crazy.
Dude, and then we be asking like who's the best defense player of all time. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Like, it's not even a question. And he went to Pitt, so, you know. I remember seeing Sean Marino at camps. I remember like competing with him. Like, yo, how you taking him over me? But he went to Georgia, right? I remember, now this is what I will say. I told you I'm a realist. Beanie was the most ready to play right now. I remember saying like, God, like, what's your mom feeding you? Yeah. Tall, big arms, big, strong, fast, big legs, right? I'm like, we don't look nothing alike. So him going, I was like, I could see why he would go in front of me. Then Donald Brown, I played with his conference. I couldn't believe that.
Yeah.
Right? Talking about, I don't know how they took him in front of me, but certain dudes like Beanie, I remember watching him play against LSU. They lost, but he was dominating them. So certain dudes that I didn't mind if he went in front because he was really, really good.
He got the prototypical look and feel, so you kind of look at it like for me, when I looked at Bortles, I'm like, okay, I'm 5'11", 6 foot. This guy's 6'4", 225. Like, you know, he fits that mold a little bit more than me. And I obviously knew with like my style and what it was, that I was going to have to go somewhere that, you know, obviously was going to use my skill set to, you know, what it was to.
Yeah, because you know what's crazy? I remember reading my, I had a problem, man. I used to read my draft, like reports, right?
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, this how so when I would play a game and I would get like too not full of myself, but like really excited what I did, I always read that to let me know, like, oh, no, I ain't did enough yet. Because they think that I got a little boy body.
Here's the negative. Here's the downside on you.
I read that they said I had a little boy body. no chest. You know what I mean? Right? So I'm like, damn. I remember I was doing push-ups for hours and my shit still, like today, I just.
Made you feel some type of way.
Yeah, but I remember just reading like my little boy body, how strong is he, don't pass protect, the physicality of football, could he, like all these different things, you know, that they would tag on me. So I like it kind of like drove me to.
Yeah, I was
like,
going to say, give you a little bit more fuel to get right. So you leave Pitt, you're going to get drafted.
Yeah.
How was the draft party?
Oh, we turned up. Yeah, I did it big time, yeah. So I thought I was going first round. Everybody was saying I was going first round. And I did the running backs in my class, no disrespect to them, but I'm like, they can't touch me, you know? Beanie Wells, no Sean Marino. I think the other dude was like Donald Brown.
Yep.
Ain't no way I ain't going first round.
Yep.
So I had DJ Drama. You know what it is?
Yep, of course.
DJ Drama was on the ones and twos cutting it up. You know what I mean? Had the whole city at the party. Back in the day, I had a crazy crush on Hoops. Remember that Flavor of Love show? Flavor. So I get her there to host it. I got DJ Drama. I had girls with spray paint, Shady McCoy, all type of, right? I had my brothers there, my homeboys, and we did it up. And then that was the night before the draft. So I'm thinking like, I said, well, look, I gotta get up early, y'all, because you know I'm going top 15.
For sure.
That was my number. I'm going top 15.
For sure. So
shit around like 10, I'm like, I'm starting stretching like it's about to be the call. You know what I mean? Got the 12. I'm like, here it comes. Got the 14. I'm like, man, whoa, what's... Got the 15, nobody called. I'm like, damn, did I spend all the money? Because you know you get like a little...
Of course.
So now I'm nervous. So the first round's going. I'm like, I didn't even go first round. So then the second round came. I said, okay, you know what? Maybe the coaches, they had a bad draft because everybody's not perfect.
Yep.
So second round, I'm waiting for like the top 10. I didn't go on that. So I think I went like 53rd. You know, that shit it was fun though. Like I was mad for a while, but then when your name get called, what you know.
Yeah.
Like everything, you start thinking about whatever. I remember Andy Reid called me and he was like, he said, hey kid, we love your game. Would you love to be an Eagle? Now I'm from Harrisburg. Michael Parsons from Harrisburg.
Yep.
And it's an hour drive from Philadelphia to my hometown. So I remember I said, hell yeah, coach. And I remember I put the phone down and all my fans and family, I was like, we going to Philly, y'all. And everybody started yelling. And that was one of my funnest, most memorable moments in my career.
After you get drafted, what's the first thing you get? You get some money.
Oh, I get some paper. Yeah.
Get some paper. Changes the perspective, changes the idea a little bit about how things are going. You're gonna go spend the bag for sure, huh?
Listen, it's so funny. I remember when I got first of all, I went second round, 53rd pick. So my sign-up bonus was, I want to say 1.3. And I remember I got 800 grand or something like that. I was like, yo, I remember, now I'm 20 years old. I was so young. How old was you coming in the league?
21 maybe?
I was 22. So young that my parents had to like co-sign my contract. Yeah. Right? Because I was so young. And I remember like, I remember playing jokes. Like, yo, man, I'm busy, man. Like I put my credit card in the ATM. I'm on the phone. Hey, yo, bro, damn, get $200 out of there, man. My codes, this and that. Just so they can see the money. Like, you know, as a kid, because I'm a child.
Yeah, you got to show it.
No, but I'm saying, that's what it's crazy because like I said, now I'm older, like that was a immature kid doing that. But the first thing I bought, to be honest, I bought my mom and dad a crib, right? Because, you know, my mom and dad, man, there was great in my life where like homeboys I grew up with that got in trouble in streets and doing different things. They ain't had nobody at home to really check them. You know, my dad, he never really played football. They both from New York and they moved to Pennsylvania to get like a better life. And I remember like my pops would work all the time. So he didn't come to my practices like that. He came to a couple of games. You know, I remember him coming to the games, I was trying to show off for him because I knew why he was working so we could get, you know, equipment or whatever it may be. And then my mom was a real good mom. She kind of kept the family together, you know, so I was like, you know what, this time around, I'm drafted. And I remember my financial advisor was like, what do you want to do? Like, you got some money? Now I got a whip. You know, your boy had to get a whip. Had that 550 all white, you know, black tint when I come through. But my mom and dad, I got them nice little crib and I said, for everything they did for me, I'm gonna get them a spot now. Right? And then on my next contract, I'm gonna get myself something. So that, and I'll be trying to find ways to like motivate myself. Cause I be feeling when you got all this money and you buying all these cars and houses for yourself, it's like you get satisfied. You know what I mean? So I use that kind of to motivate me. Now I will say this, on my second contract, I spent all my money. Okay, let me rephrase that. On my second contract, I knew they was negotiating my contract. Yeah. Right? I was all pro that year. Like second in rushing. So I knew it was coming. Drew's house, my agent, they were negotiating it. You know, we wanted 20, I think it was like 20 or 21 guaranteed. That's what we wanted. You know, I was good back then too. Well, that's good now, shit, we think about it. But anyway, I remember I was in a club, right? And I couldn't pay for the tab. But in my mind, I'm like, yo, I'm spending money because I know the money's coming. Yep. But it didn't come fast enough. So I remember talking to the GM at the club. I said, look, come on, man, you know what's going on. I say, yo, my cars ain't working. Tomorrow, I'm going to wire you the money. You know, things ain't working out. Nobody even know that story. But I knew the money was coming. Then I think like 2 days later, it hit the news. You know, I hit like 5 years, 45, 21 guaranteed. So I had some money to spend. But at that time, my second deal, I didn't have no paper.
That's love, though. That's love, though, from the club, dude.
And I'm big chains going on.
Right now, I ain't got it.
Oh.
Give me about 5-6 days.
I never told him about that though. I'm not looking at the GM like, come on, man. What you think? If I hate, I'm like, yo, I should play poker. Cause I'm like, man, what you need? What you need? You know what I mean? The whole time I have no money.
It's coming though. It came.
That shit came.
What do you think the biggest, like, you know, you get to Philly, right? From Pennsylvania. Is that a team you always wanted to play for?
I didn't really care for teams. I did like the Eagles. I like the both teams, the Eagles and the Steelers. Steelers were winning more, obviously. Yeah. Right? And that's only a 3-hour drive. But in my hometown, it's like the mid of Harrisburg, central. It's like the central of Pennsylvania. You got Philly this side, you got Pittsburgh this side. So there's so many fans of each, right? Of both teams. State. Yeah, so I didn't really care for that. I like the players. I was a huge Barry fan. You know, I like the players. That was my thing. I like the superstar players.
Was it easy to, you know, get around some of the, like, as you get to Philly, you have a team that has a lot of veterans there, like a lot of guys. Had to make it easy on you getting in there, huh? Yeah. You know, it was easy because I always talk about like culture. You know, culture matters in sports. Like there's some players that are really, really good, but if not in the right culture, right system, they won't be great. And you get guys that are just good. You put around good culture and good coaching, and they become really, really good, right? So Andy Reid was great for me because everybody followed the rules. Like, I don't know if Cleveland they did fines. Here and there,
Andy ain't do fines. Yeah. Why we doing fines? I don't want to take your money. He would say, I don't want to take your money. Why we doing fines? These are the rules. Everybody's going to do the rules. So from the superstar to the practice that we all following the rules. Brian Westbrook was there. I remember the first time, because we were a young team, like just like me, DeSean Jackson, Johnny Manziel, we were all young, but we was good. And like Manat was there, good leader. But I remember when Vick was the starter. So he got there when I got there. He got him from jail. I mean, he did a little layoff. Yep. I did college,
yeah,
right?
For sure.
So he gets there. I remember the first time I see him, I'm like, what's up, homie? Yo, what's up, Mike? Mike, what's up, Shady, dog? What's good? What's up? Okay, homie, what's good? I'll see you later. You know what I mean? See you at practice. What's up? And he walk off. I'm like, oh, shit. Why Vick touch my hand? Like, I couldn't believe it. You know, that's the kid in me. I'm 20. And I remember when first see him practice, I'm like, yo, this is Michael Vick. He is ass.
No way.
Bruh.
No way.
Me, D-Jack, Mac, we ain't like, it can't be Mike Vick. He's scrambling, fumbling over his feet, falling. He had these big ass cleats. I'm like, I don't know what happened in jail, but bruh ain't that. And then, because he was rusty. Yeah. But man, what he did was.
He knocked the rust off for sure.
Knocked that rust off. We was like, oh my God, this is Michael Vick. And then Andy had him reading better with the passing. He still was fast. He still was quick. Right. And I think a guy like that helped us become men because I remember, you know, we lived in the same condo. And I remember I was like his little brother. I would come down there, come to his wife, we up there, his kids. I would hang out with him. His wife could cook. I would eat with him. And he was teaching me the game about finances, about teammates, all these type of stuff. And I'm like, yo, God put him in there for me because, you know, he helped me become not just an NFL player, but a growing man, right? Because I'm 20. And then I remember like as we got older, like some of the stuff that he put in us, it rubbed off on us. So I remember like rookies coming in. Now I'm giving them the game. For sure. Right?
Passing that down.
And a lot of players don't have that. It's crazy. I talk to different like young, good players that come in the league and they force them to play and all that. And if you don't, I don't care how good you are, if you don't have nobody to like help you learn the game outside of football, how to practice, how to be a pro, like you don't know.
Yep.
You know,
you really don't.
And he was good. He was good for me. And well, not just me, all of us. Mike was one of the best leaders I could have.
No, you and D-Jack are obviously close through the pod. You know, played together for a long time. Did you guys hit it off from the jump?
No, not at first. He's one of them little dudes that's like little man syndrome, right? Hell of a player, plays with a big chip on his shoulder because he's small, and he's a superstar. I remember we had our first little argument, or our first two arguments. One was we in the game. No, we in camp. And I think I'm beating him in like a 2K or something like that, or Madden. And he tried to buck on me. I'm a rookie, and he's DeSean. You know, I'm like, hold up, bro. Hold up, man. I ain't going for all that. That was our first little issue. And then one time we in the game, we're playing the Raiders, and I fumbled the ball. And he was going crazy at me. Man, hold on to the fucking ball, rookie, da-da-da. And I start yelling at him, right? But ever since that, like his mom is tight. You know, me and him being tight, we We get money together off the field, doing different things in a podcast. So he's one of my better friends. Good dude, right? Different because he's from LA. I always say LA people are different. But one of my good friends, good-hearted dude.
But looking back on the Eagles' time, you think it would have been different, obviously, if Andy Reid didn't end up leaving?
I was so mad when he left. It's crazy because all he ever did was win. Now, every coach ain't going to be winning every year.
Every single year. You're going to have your down years no matter what.
Every player will have his down year. So, But overall, we were asked before Andy Reid got there as the Eagles, and we were nice when he got there, right? It was times where our defense wasn't as good. They could have focused on the defense more because the offense was set. And we would lose games, and they would blame Andy. I'm like, yo, we got like 500 yards of offense. How's it Andy's fault?
Yep.
Right? Got freaking defense ain't playing well. Fumbles. Mike was fumbling and throwing picks. I might fumble here. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't him because he was eating. And then it's funny because when he leaves, he goes to the Kansas City Chiefs where they won like 3 games the year before that. He gets there, they go straight to the playoffs. That's why I was telling people, I hate when they compare coaches. Like, Belichick is good. I don't like to say great. I don't think he's super great. I just think that you had a great quarterback that's the best of all time, right? With some good pieces. You got Grunt, you got some defensive players, and y'all was winning shit. Now look at Andy Reid, where if Mahomes is playing or not playing, they're going to be a good team. Now, Mahomes playing going to be a great team.
Yeah.
Right?
But they'll be competitive no matter what if he's there or not.
I watched Alex Smith. They said he was a bust. He brings his ass to Kansas City. Now he's a Pro Bowler.
Yep.
When I was with the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, he messed up his knee. He did a quarterback sneak, and his knee popped out of the socket or something like that.
Yeah, they still haven't done one of those since, I don't think.
Oh, they never done that again. But guess what? The backup quarterbacks that I guess they didn't make it anywhere else, they came in there, they went 4-1. I was on that team. So what I'm saying is, I don't care who's playing for Andy Reid. We are going to be good. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
But if I look at other coaches, like without Tom, Belichick wasn't nice. Mm-mm. People act like he never coached other than the Patriots. That ain't true. You get what I'm saying? Because he was the Browns for a little bit, right? Yep. 4 seasons, he won like 1 season out of there. Then Tom leaves. He leaves and goes to Tampa. They win a chip the next year. And then the Patriots look like one of the weaker teams in the league.
Average.
You'll never see that with Andy. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's why when you ask about coaches, it really matters. That shit really matters.
And then, Andy leaves, obviously, and then that comes to Chip Kelly. I've heard about how a lot of guys on that team obviously felt about Chip. Funny thing about me, I committed to Chip Kelly in Oregon.
Nah, you'd have been nice in his offense, though. I will say this, though, about Chip. I don't really like him. That's obvious. But I respect him because I think he's a smart-ass coach, though. He's smart. He's out of these smart dudes, he's smart.
I remember being in college whenever he just, they hire him, you guys are all there in Philly. I remember being like, this team is going to be unbelievable. Yeah. It's going to be so good.
He just, what his problem was? He didn't understand that, this is, in my opinion, this is a superstar league. You need the Belichicks. You need the Andy Reids. But you need the Toms. You need the Patrick Mahomes. You need them. You need the Travis Kelce. You need the Chris Jones. You need them guys. And Chip didn't understand that. He thought it was like, this is my system. I can win with anybody. So when we got to Philly, we already had this spice. We already had it. We had me and DeSean, Vick. Everything you want to everything you want to do, we here. You want to do the spread stuff? Cool. You want a running quarterback? Cool. You need a shifty running back? Cool. You need some fast receivers? Cool. Everything you want, we got. But when he couldn't control us a certain way, because we come from Andy, so we discipline players. But like simple things like, man, I'm black and I like black socks. That's how I practice. He didn't like black socks. He wanted white socks.
Little things, stupid things.
Or look, man, I got this second highest running back contract, man. Yeah, I got a Rolls Royce, bro. And I'm going to drive it to the game. Oh, you know what? We're a team. You know what? You guys drive your cars to the stadium the day before the game. And then we're going to, check this out. Drive your car the day before the game. Nobody's even seeing me, right? They ain't even going to see me. Got this new white thing. I got this new Rolls Royce. I'm maxing, you know what I mean? I'm matching my outfit. Nobody's going to see that. We're all going to take a bus from the hotel to the game. Another one. Coach, we just won a big game. Beat the Cowboys, right? We went number 1 in our division. We partying tonight, right? Had a Sunday night game. We are partying tonight. We going to Atlantic City or we going to New York City. We getting bottles, we getting the chicks, we partying. Got the big chains running around. Why are you about to give me a piss test at 7 o'clock the next day? We in the NFL. We 23. That's what he did. So he didn't understand, like, we are grown men playing in the league. Another thing he didn't understand, right? Because I don't want to call him a racist, because I that's not, you know, unless I really know something to cause my that. I would just say that he was uncomfortable with dealing with different cultures. There's some white dudes that cut their hair off, that listen to rock and roll. Jason Kelce was my man. We are a total opposite.
Yep.
When I win a game, I'm going to the club. When he win a game, he's going to the bar with big bears. But we still would hang out. That's my boy.
Of course.
So everybody's different, what I'm trying to say. There's dudes that got cornrows, dudes got nappy hairs, dudes got bald, all these different things. I don't have no tattoos, but guys got tattoos. Chip can understand that. So he tried to make us all be one. He would say, yo, in the locker room, there's no music. Put your headphones in, right? And you talk about gladiators playing a physical sport. Or he would do stuff like, I can go hours for this dude. He would do stuff like, we had this one kid, his name was Rock, I forget his last name, Rock something, from Virginia Tech, dark-skinned kid. He had like super crazy nappy hair. Nappy hair as in like, he don't ever comb or brush that thing, all right? He'd wake up and go right to practice. Chip Kelly sent one of his runners to tell him like, hey, look, man, hey, coach, you need to clean yourself up. You need to go get your hair cut like Shady's or DeSean's. How you tell somebody that?
You don't.
You get what I'm saying? Now, if this was today in society, oh, he might have got fired. Social media, oh, you know. But at the time, it's like, yo. And then the crazy thing is, the white players, the black, we always homeboys. And you can tell.
Of course you're cool. Anybody in the locker room is your dog.
No, but sometimes, like, I mean, you might have, like, people might be isolated, you know, whatever it is. But I'm saying, on this team, and you can see how I am, this is our first time really rocking. I cool with everybody, my personality. So I'm the type of dude, you know, I might hang out in the hood clubs with my boys, and then with some of my linemen, I will be in the bar. I don't even drink beer. I'll be in the bar just buying them drinks because we were a tight team. So when you start coming in and get this rule, that rule, you start breaking this up. Because Riley Cooper had this situation where he made the racial remarks, right? And I don't think he's racist either, though. I think he just got mad and tried to make that person angry with his words, and the person happened to be black, and the words he said happened to be against black people, right? But Riley Cooper was a great example. He was super cool. So when he said what he said, you know, Chip Kelly, instead of like us addressing Cooper, like, yo, what's up, bro? Like, you know, what's going on? Why did you? He hit him. He hit him, right? And we didn't see Coop for like 2 weeks. We didn't even talk to him. We didn't see him. So I guess to make us forget. And
when you know it's not going away.
It can't go away, right?
It's not going nowhere.
So what he did was he had Mike, because everybody respects Mike Vick. He had Mike, you know, speak to the team, whatever. And he was like, hey, you know, Coop was wrong. He's our brother. He said, but I'll say this. If you could say that you never say anything behind closed doors that might have been wrong, right? Leave the locker room. And everybody's like, well, we've all said things and did things, you know, that was wrong. So, but he used Mike to kind of, that's another thing he would do. He would use Mike to kind of calm us down, talk to us. He's had a lot of little tricks I didn't like. I just think that, yo, for the team you had, just be a solid coach. You can't control everything. Because we ain't 17.
It's impossible.
We ain't 17.
You got a bunch of grown men in here who have been in the league, played for different coaches, been different places. It's impossible. You can't run that same college type of system that you think it's going to work in the NFL.
I got one for last one for you. Our best player, in my opinion, was this dude named Jason Peters. I mean, oh, you know that? Okay, left tackle, nice. And you know, Jason, he had kids or whatever, and he was like, yo, like, look, man, like, I might not get a lot of rest tonight because I got a baby, right? He's waking up in the middle of the night crying and all that. So I got to attend to that sometimes. My wife is, or his girl at the time was a good mom and all that, but she might need a break.
Yeah, of course.
He just so, because he would monitor your sleep patterns. Hey, McCoy, I need to talk to you in my office. I get up there, what's up, coach? You want to talk to me about that game I had? Nah, I want to talk to you because he crossed his legs and all this. I want to talk to you because I seen you had 3 hours of sleep last night. 3 hours of how you know that? Well, you know, we checked it. I said, man, well, I ain't doing it no more. Since you're monitoring how much I sleep, I don't feel comfortable. So I'm never doing it again. That's another issue we had.
Huh.
Think about that, though.
That's crazy. It's
right?
crazy. And going back for every single guy on the team, this, that.
Piss tests. Oh, I mean, that's just a whole nother, like, I should write a book.
So after you deal with that, after you get to, you get traded to Buffalo, you feel like there's a weight off your shoulders getting there. Obviously, you said you would have liked to have been with the Eagles for your whole career. But you get to Buffalo, get away from that situation. You feel relieved?
Nah. I felt like he, like DeSean Jackson, so he said that he had like all this stuff going on, so he releases DeSean. And DeSean, he goes to the Redskins at the time, same division. So when I found out I was getting traded, Drew Rosenhaus said, hey man, this is not a joke. The Eagles are trading you to the Bills. I'm like, what? You serious? After the season, people clear out the lockers.
Yep.
I never did that. I'm gonna be around. But when he made that call, he's like, yo, this is real, you getting traded. So I remember calling him like 20 times, just calling Chip. He never picked up. And I left a message saying like, yo, if you don't think I'm that good or whatever you think, well, put me in your division. You put DeSean in division, put me in division. And then we gonna see. Yeah. So he never did that. So when I leave, I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't, and I made more money. That's crazy thing is, Drew was crafty at this. When I got traded to the Bills, he acted like I didn't want to go, right? And then how do you make a player happy in the league? You give him money.
You get him paid.
So they rip up my deal and give me a new deal, right? So now I can afford to go to clubs. So he gave me a new deal, but I still want to happy. Because then you really sent me to Buffalo to get to kill me though.
Yeah.
Small market. Because at the time I probably had, for like second year. So the last 3 years of my Eagle career, I had a top 6, top 5 jersey sale. And that's royalties. That's everything, right?
You're getting paid on that.
You're getting paid on that. So it's a popular team, media. So now I'm getting more endorsement deals. Body Armor. You guys know what Body Armor is. They sold for all that money, right? Shout out to Body Armor, big check, Coca-Cola. Yo, me, Gronk, I think Richard Sherman, I think James Harden, we were the first athletes to be endorsed by Body Armor. How did I get that? Obviously from playing well, but I played for the Eagles.
Big market.
When I went to Buffalo, they say, yo, Shady, man, we love you. We love you. But we got to buy you out because we can't really promote that in Buffalo. Ain't no TV. It ain't Buffalo now. They on TV. Ain't one that. So I went on TV, none of that. So I lost so much money when I got to Buffalo. So anyway, the last part is, I told you my house I grew up in is an hour from the stadium. So if I have a bad game, I didn't go home. I went to my house, right? The city where I grew up at. Get my mom's and grandma's home cooked meal.
Be back around the fam. Get
all
a
that
chance
stuff
to
you
get
ain't
your
even
mind
thinking
off
about.
things.
My son, right? I got a son, like the family's there. Got supporting cast to help me with them. And then when I had to go to Buffalo, everything changed. So I really was hurt more than what people know. So when I get to Buffalo, my first year, I wasn't even really engaged mentally. Like, I had more money and stuff like that, but I wasn't focused. You know what I mean? You know how that is playing. Your mind's somewhere else, but your body's on the field.
It's a new place too, a whole new situation. Team is probably not as good.
Yep, not as good. So I will say though, Buffalo fans and the culture there and like the community, they were great. So then I started to love Buffalo. Good people, they cared, right? They made it easier. So then my second year, I really started going off because they was like, oh, is LeSean,
he still got it?
Yup.
He still got it?
Oh, I said, okay. So some more motivation. So I put all my cars aside and I went back home to train because I started training in Miami. You know how it is. I'm going out a little bit. I'm training.
You want to get somewhere fun during the off season, have your time.
Yeah. I put all that shit away though. Okay, cool, bet. I went right back home to my hometown and trained. Had a really, really good year too. Pro Bowl year, like 1,300 yards. Anyway, so Buffalo got cool. And then we had Rex Ryan. Oh, it was a fun. Yo, I don't care what they say about Rex Ryan. He's a really good coach. And he's lit.
He is.
He is the only coach that I've ever seen or heard or witnessed where after the practice you get in the hot tub. Shit, he in the hot tub right with you. Hey, great. Hey, look, he had a beer. Look, we been in the hot tub. Him and his brother, right? He had his little beer like this. Hey, good practice today, fellas. Hey, good practice.
Yep.
Hey.
Right? That's lit.
Bruh, you would love him. He's a coach that like, he does great with veterans. If you're young, you can't really understand it. I remember we playing Miami Dolphins. He gives us a breakdown speech. Man, I want you to go out here and play hard. This, that, and the third. And if you win, You can stay in Miami till Wednesday. We like, yo, let's go. So he was a great coach. I liked him a lot.
That's something you don't see anywhere probably in the league whatsoever. But when something like that happens, you're like, sticks with you forever. We better go out and get this done.
And we would win a lot in Miami too, though. You know. But then Sean McDermott came. He's a really good coach. He changed the whole culture there. I mean, like, so I had him in Philadelphia with Andy Reid. Right, all Andy Reid coaches do well. Yep. You know what I mean? So
that whole tree is really good.
Sean was good, and we drafted Josh Allen. I remember when I seen Josh, he was a rookie, and I remember like, Coach, man, like, because at the time I had a Pro Bowl the year before, and then we started getting rid of some of our players, and he had me playing with some bad players. I'll just say that because they're my teammates. So I said, look, man, we about to go here and get a rookie quarterback, so I know how that's going to go. I'm getting a little older. I think I'm just touching 30. And I'm still good. I'm like, yo, I don't want to keep having bad tape. Had a bad year last year. Let me go. Because are we rebuilding? What are we trying to do here? They trade Sammy Watkins, and then they get Calvin Benjamin, me and the GM, Brandon Bean, cool dude. We arguing like he's trying to tell me that they basically the same player. I'm like, yo, Calvin Benjamin is not nowhere near Sammy Watkins.
Not Sammy Watkins.
We arguing about it, right? So I said, yo, let me go. He said, well, hold up. We got this rookie. He's going to be really, really good. Trust me. He's not going to be the top quarterback in this draft, but he's going to be the top quarterback in the draft once they start playing. Because he got Baker, you had him, Lamar, and Josh Rosen, right? So I said, all right, man, let's see how this thing works out. In the first week, I'm like, yo, this dude going to be nice. Now, he was wild. He had a little bit in you, like, wow, you know what I mean? Saucy.
I'm not
shaky
gonna lie.
dude one, you know what I mean?
I was training for the draft in 2014, and I'm coming off my 2 seasons at A&M, and I'm thinking I'm all hot shit and everything. It's the spring right before the draft, and my quarterback coach, I'm in San Diego. He's like, yo, we're going to go watch this kid work out. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Kid plays at Wyoming, yada, yada, yada. Bro, when I saw that...
You said 2014?
2014. Okay. This is my draft class. So he's probably a junior at Wyoming at the time. And I remember getting on the field, seeing this kid throw, and I had been working out for weeks. I'm getting ready for a pro day, doing the whole shit. When I saw that guy step on the field, bro, I was like, holy shit.
Bro.
Where they make this guy at?
That
fucking
big.
lab.
And he ain't a chump. I watch dudes like, you know, because quarterbacks were supposed to be like collected, like a coach on the field. And he was kind of that, but like he ain't taking no. That's why when him and Stephon Diggs going at it, everybody was like, I'm like, listen, at the end of the day though, I don't think it's that serious like on the field because Josh ain't gonna let him get carried away with him.
No, not at all.
He'll run you over. He's tough. He's strong. He got a big arm. Now, I did say this though, like I could tell that he had a real coaching. I mean, when he went to Wyoming, like
you're not gonna get a great coach.
He played football there, so he had ways to go. But I knew he was gonna be a super stud though, bro.
First time I ever saw him work out, you know, they're throwing those 18-yard comebacks and stuff, and most of the guys will get a little float on it. This guy was throwing just missiles, no air on it whatsoever, just like this guy's going to be a fucking beast. So I knew it was going to be good, but, you know, Sean did a good job of getting a good coordinator, Brian Daboll, who's one of the best in the league, and they had a great, like, relationship, you know what I'm saying? But Buffalo was special to me. It's all timing. Like, if I played for that team they got now, like, you know what I'm saying? It would be crazy. Yeah. Glory Daze is sponsored by BetterHelp. If you can think of a time recently when you didn't feel like yourself, you're not alone. I've had moments like that before too. Therapy can help empower you to be the best version of yourself. And if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. All you have to do is fill out a brief questionnaire and get matched with a licensed therapist. And you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Visit BetterHelp.com/days to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/days. But whenever, you know, you decide to leave there, that's your first real time throughout your whole career where you kind of get to pick and choose where you want to go.
Yeah, so how that went was, so Buffalo, right, it wasn't a rocky relationship because we were solid, but then they wanted me to take a pay cut. Now at the time, I'm making like $7 million. I'm like, whoa, you want me to take a pay cut? All these bum ass dudes running around here, and you try and blame me.
I get the pay cut.
Come on, dog. I said, well, look, man, I ain't taking no pay cut, so let me get up out of here. So I'll go to the Chiefs.
It had to be easy choice going back to Andy Reid.
It's funny because like I had like 4 teams that was really bugging me. The Chargers, the Chiefs, the Jets, and I want to say the the Giants. And I was like, I should go to the Giants, but that's weird because I'm an Eagle, you know. And then like, I came from Buffalo, New York. The taxes is the same, right? So I was like, I don't want to do that. I want to go make about $3-4 million. So they gave me 3.5. So Andy calls me, and it's funny because he talked to me like I just talked to you yesterday because that's the relationship we got. He says, "What's up, man? I mean, what you gonna do? Buffalo ain't work out. You want to be a star again?" That's the first he said to me. You want to be a star again? So we was talking, me, him, and Brett Veach is the GM. We've been tight since day because he drafted me basically. Nobody knows that. He drafts all Andy Reid's top players: Mahomes, me, DeSean Jackson, Travis Kelce, Jason Kelce. I can go on. Brett Veach is he's
the guy.
He's the guy. All right. So I'm talking to him, and it was like, I'm going to the Chiefs. What am I doing? I'm going to the Chiefs, right? So that's how I ended up going there.
Obviously, getting a chance to win your first Super Bowl. How was that? How was that year being there?
You know what? That year was a growing year for me because like this is my whole story is I go to the Chiefs. I was there for none of the preseason, so I had to learn all the plays. Now I'm a smart dude, so it wasn't that hard. But it's a little different because the offense is the same, but a little different. He puts his little twist on it, right?
Yeah. Got
Mahomes now, so now we doing different things. So when I got there, the starter was Damian Williams. Really good. He was a good running back, right? Been around a little bit. So I took his job in about week 3. My first game, because people always make the narrative that, when you're 30 as a running back, you don't have it no more. But I was like 31. My first game, I had like 10 carries for 84 yards against Jacksonville. I was getting busy.
Yeah, of course.
Third game, I'm starting now. And me and the coordinator, though, Eric Bieniemy, I just say, man, we ain't even see eye to eye. But it's funny because I already knew that. Before I got there, the Adrian Petersons, the Jamal Charles, they say, he a different dude, like coaching-wise. He's like old school. He's all that.
Yeah.
And I'm not really.
He's going to lay into you.
Yeah,
you're sitting there at 31, been around the league, dealt with some shit.
And you know me, because we would play games. I play against the Vikings. I play against, great game and all that. But you know how I carry the ball. You know how I operate. Mm-hmm. So he would be on me about all the little stuff. Hold the ball, none of that. So we would always battle. Or it'd be some games where we up like 17 the fourth quarter and we still throwing it. I'm trying to get mines. I love you back. But dog, the Reid says, give me that ball.
Give me the rock.
Yeah, or I would tell Andy, take the RPO off. Just make it a run because you know he gonna throw it. Right? So he ain't like that. You know what I mean? And maybe we have our back because I'm like, you the coordinator. I don't ever see you correct no other position but the running backs. He's a running back coach that became the coordinator.
Yep.
I think my problem sometimes was I was probably too vocal because I knew too much. You know what I mean? I'd be like, why you keep talking to me about my job? But this dude running the wrong route at the wrong depth, making the wrong read. And
you got guys fucking up in other areas, but you're always coming to me.
Because you don't know. Yeah, now I'm calling you out. You don't even know he's messed that up. You don't even know that. You don't even talk. So I had a thing where before he was like, Shady's just bitter because he didn't, he wasn't playing this and that third. Because I said a comment that he left Kansas City to become the coordinator for the Commanders. They said, how would he do? And I said, I don't know. They said, what do you mean you don't know? I said, because I've never seen him call a play. The first time I've ever seen anything like this was Andy Reid sends the play to him, Eric Bieniemy, the coordinator, and he sends the play to Pat. I've never seen that before. So I would see that, like, okay, all right, well, but you get all the love for it. And then when you hear the players' response about it, they're like, he's one of the best coaches I know. He's gonna prepare you hard, he's gonna be tough on you, this and that. That ain't coaching though. That's like, I can get a therapist to give me that. Coach me up. How do I run this route better? How do I throw this ball better? How's my feet work? How's my reads?
Get into the details.
Details. Because Andy Reid's about the details.
Yeah.
So I said, I don't know how good he's going to do because I've never seen him really coach. When a coordinator, I've been around, they install the plays they want to run. After the practice, every year I have practice, or after the games, the coordinator goes over the corrections. LeSean, why'd you run this route? Why'd you run this ball here? Why'd you do this? Because that's what coordinators do. You correct me. I've never seen you do that. I never see you tell Tyreek Hill, hey, man, it was cover 2.
That route was 2 yards too short. It's cover 2. Why didn't you outside release? Whatever it may be.
I never see you do that. But I see you say stuff like, hold on to the ball. Like, look, stay on sides. Like, little stuff like that. So I don't know how good you were. So then, I was right. He's there for, a year or so?
Yeah.
And not only just there, we going to take you out of the NFL and put you on college.
I think any good coordinator you're going to see is going to harp that detail. I remember, getting a chance to watch how Shanahan did stuff. Shit. He could coach all 11 positions based off every single detail, every placement of your hand, your feet.
And he's calling his plays. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I'll be telling people it's so hard to be a coordinator because like Andy Reid would do stuff like this. He would have his sheets. All right, this is 25 sheet, that's me. This is number 10 or Tyreek Hill sheet or DeSean Jackson sheet, right? Kelsey, I get him his ball. I got these different sheets to get these guys the ball, right? And then he would do stuff like, all right, I'll call my first down play, right? But in my head, I have a play for if it's 2nd and 5, I'm gonna do this. But if it's 2nd and 10 again, I'm gonna run. Like, you know how smart you gotta be?
They're already 3 plays ahead and thinking about what it is. They already have everything.
Come on, man. So that's how that worked out. But anyway, so me and him, we had a little, I won't even go to the whole conversation of him, but he basically told me, look, bro, it ain't gonna work out. You know what I'm saying? We gonna go with this other guy. We ain't going with you. And I was like, cool. Right? I was mad, but the thing about the Chiefs I like is like, there's so many egos in the room that they put it at the door before they go in the room. Tyreek Hill was there, freaking, in my opinion, a top 5 receiver of all time, dead or alive. Travis Kelce. All these guys can put their egos aside and play, and I'm not starting. I can't do the same. So what I did was, because all the young boys looked up to me, and I was coaching dudes the same way when I was playing or when I wasn't playing. Yo, on this read, look at this, look at that. Yo, when you block it, make sure you, because like I already know who I am. You can't make me feel no type of way.
That's dope. And
then another thing is when I won the championship, I didn't play. Matter of fact, I wasn't even suited up. But the cool thing was like, yo, my whole life I've been really, really good and talented and did a lot of accolades and yards, right? But I ain't never won nothing in college. I ain't never won nothing in high school. And I never won nothing in the league, but some numbers.
Yep.
So when I won, I was like, this is a crazy feeling. You know what I mean? So I was super happy about that. And then from there, when I went with the Bucks, now they're looking at me like, oh, okay, LeSean is a veteran, but now it's tagged on me now. So soon I go. The cool thing about Bruce Arians and them dudes was he let me know from the jump. Hey, listen, man, I love your game since you've been in the league, right? But we need you to help out Ronald Jones, the running back, because he's a second rounder. He's really good from USC, and you could be the backup. I said, I could do that. Because in my head, I said, I'm going to beat him out. I can see how he playing, I'm going to beat him out. Now, he was good, though. He wasn't super confident, but he's a really good player. I'm all confidence, right?
Of course.
Then they get Leonard Fournette. So he calls me back in the office. Hey, Shady, how you doing? Great practice. Listen, you're doing a good job as a veteran, but we're going to get that damn Leonard Fournette. We're going to get him. We're going to get him. So it's going to be Rojo starting, Fournette the backup. You know what? We're going to give you 3rd downs. All right? Good job. He was real with me, though. So then we get to the practice. I'm watching, 3rd downs. Get in there, McCoy. Get in there. But Fournette wasn't playing that much. So he called me back in the office again. Hey, listen, I know I said to give you 3rd downs. This is Bruce Arians. I know you give you 3rd downs, but I can't do that no more. Because Fournette, he's not playing. We need to get him on the field some way, somehow. I say, cool. Then Fournette started taking off. So then I really become a real manager. Because they not going at it, but he's playing more, he's not playing, and then Rojo was hot, and then Fournette got hot. So I was in there like coaching them dudes up. And it was cool to see, because I'm like, yo, you know what? My time in the league is done, because now I'm really coaching these dudes up. And I go from making like $300,000 a game every Monday or Tuesday to like 30, 40, 50,000. I'm like, oh yeah, the writing's on the wall, dog. And then then we won a Super Bowl with playing with Brady, because I've hung out with Brady with like he don't only go to Pro Bowls because he's always playing, but like commercial stuff. I hung out with Gronk. I knew these dudes from like just different events.
Yeah, being around the league. And
I always thought he was a good guy, but really playing with him, it's crazy how a guy can be so great and accomplish so much and be the most humble, modest dude in the room.
That's what you hear.
Bro, I can't make it up. I can see why Tom Brady is as great as he is. He's type dude where, hey, look, man, trust me. Go out there to the swimming pool. Listen, walk across that water. You're not going to drown. You're not going to fall. And I'm going to do it. Because he has so much, like we'll practice. I'll give you a story. This is how he is, right? That's why he wants to be the greatest. It's COVID. So 2020, you can't really hang out. But we hanging out. And we play a game, and me, Mike, I think Chris, Fournette, we always on a FaceTime messing around, right? So let's FaceTime Tommy. That's how I play a lot. But let's FaceTime Tommy. I call him 7-time champion. FaceTime and everything. He misses the call. He calls me back. And we're like, oh, what's up, Tom? What's good? I got the boys in the background. I say, yo, are you in the pool? What are you doing? It's probably like 2 hours from the game for ended. He's all nothing, man. Just get some work and some rehabbing, man. Bro, 2 hours after the game, nobody else is doing that.
He never turned it off ever for a second.
Oh, and nobody's doing that.
Ever for a second.
That's why he is what he is.
You think Mahomes has the chance to get to be that level?
You know what? Yeah. He started out a little earlier, a lot younger. He has a better coach, in my opinion. You know, it's funny, when I got to, they both competitors, though. They both good competitors. I remember I got to the Bucks. I won a championship with the Chiefs to go to the Bucks. And he's asking me questions, right, about the Chiefs. But he really was asking me, hey, what's up with Mahomes? Is he like that, right? That's how Brady is. He a competitor. And he's like, we talking about his sidearm stuff, the no looks. So Brady, you know, we in the weight room. You know, weight room's always the best conversations. And he's talking about, you know, playing the quarterback position and all that. And then he talks about like, he says, there's been so many great quarterbacks that come during me and after me that I never really was worried about catching me or you know, competing with him as much. But he did say this. He said, how I knew that he was the real deal. Now, Brady's never going to say he's worried about somebody.
Of course.
But what I took from the conversation was, I knew that Patrick Mahomes was the real deal is when he got a new contract and he didn't become the highest paid. He took a solid number deal so I could pay all my teammates.
Because that's how it has to go.
Because I want to win. Where other dudes, they want
the max.
So he said when he did that, I knew that, you know. And then because Brady's like, I mean, he says stuff like I'm chasing Jordan, dog. Like, these dudes ain't really. And you got to get it out of Brady to talk. You know what I mean? But the way he thinks, bro, any young dude that was around him, I could see them having great careers because he's going to get the best out of you.
It's a special skill to have. I mean, obviously, he's a once every generation kind of guy.
I don't know if he's even generational. Yeah. I don't know if he's. I do think Pat's going to get him, though.
You do?
Yeah.
Just because it started out at such a more rapid pace earlier?
Started out hotter, right? He's a little bit more mobile, running-wise. This I have nothing to do who's better, but just saying who can he catch him. And Brady, he's not like like Brady didn't come out, I'm going to throw the ball all game, where Mahomes, that's what he going to do.
That's what they do.
So now when Andy Reid drafts, we're drafting to get up and down the field. You draft Xavier Worthy. You got McCole Hartman. You got all these dudes, right? It's like when Kelsey leaves one day, they're going to find a replacement for him because that's what Andy Reid does.
As quick as they can. That's what they have to do.
Nobody drafts like the Chiefs. And then his coach is phenomenal. Andy, Mahomes will always be great because no matter how good he plays, he's always going to get coached up. I think the worst thing in my career is when I became the player and all that, when I went to different teams, they didn't coach me up.
It's hard to get coached when you turn into that guy at times.
They let me just, like a coach would be yelling at my backup for something that I did. But I know what he's saying. I know the message.
You know what he's saying.
Why the hell did you do that? The hole was right here. What were you looking at? Too much dancing. He really talking to me. Where Andy Reid would say, yo, my man.
What you doing?
You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
Of course. Is the broadcasting stuff something you always thought you would go into after you were done playing or something that just kind of like popped up a little bit?
I mean, I knew it was going to like.
Still being around the game, talking about balls.
I talk shit and like I like it. You know, I did think about being like a GM. But as a kid, right, I used to always say, I could play football forever. Because when I'm not the starter, I could be the backup. And I was like, when I'm done playing, I'm gonna get like my own radio show and this is, and I was like 8, I was thinking about this stuff. And then as I wound it down, I'm like, yo, I could do some TV. Because first of all, I had, you know what? My first real job, well, other than football, but was outside of football was Good Morning Football. And I got that job. And we're going over the numbers and everything. And then it fell through because I can't say legally, but fell through. So I was like, damn. But that let me know that, yo, I could be on TV because if Good Morning Football was going to pay me 1.5 to talk football for 2 hours of that, there's a market for me. So then I got my agent, right? And we started going to these different, and then Fox's made sense because Emmanuel Acho, we was always tight because he played in Philly, which people don't know. And he taught sports and all that, and we had good chemistry. And then Fox wanted me. So I said, this is a career.
I like this.
You gonna pay me to talk?
And you guys got a good crew on there right now. A bunch of great group of guys who probably makes it really easy to be able to go do that.
Yep. We do got a nice little crew.
And you still stay pretty locked into the game when you're doing that. It's every week, you know?
And then we got the pod, you know what I mean, every day. So I mean, I like it. Like I like football. I think that eventually I'm gonna calm down a little bit and be like, I want to be a GM though.
That's the goal.
Yeah, because like I just like Howie Roseman's the GM for the Eagles, who every year gets better with the team, right? Like we got Saquon Barkley, like seriously, right? And AJ Brown on the same team. And we could talk ball because that's my guy. I've been there since I've been a rookie. And Brett Veach, another one. So I'm thinking like if they can do this, I can do this. They can help me out to get what I need to get better. And we work at the chemistry. Everything's about relationships. We got great relationships.
Of course,
like,
especially
you know
in the NFL. You see it with coaches. You see it, you know, guys stick
Man.
together like glue in the league.
There's dudes I know that know football. They don't know nothing about football, but got a big role. Like like my man, seriously, like, how you get this job? His dad worked with his dad, his cousin. You know what I'm saying? So I always thought I could definitely work in the football space in the front office.
Is the Eagles a team right now? You think they'll get it figured out this year? Is this a team that can win the Super Bowl?
Yeah. Defense got to play a little better, though. I think with a new coordinator, with some rookie players in there, eventually, like later in the year, is when everything gels. Because you know how the season is. You learning each other, right? Can we do this? Can we do that?
It's a game of runs, too. You're going to go on that streak where you win 3 or 4 games in a row after you have a little bit of a rocky start.
I always like try to compare blackjack, 21, gambling. I know you gamble a little bit. I heard your story. You gamble. And in football, it's always runs, yo. Sports in general is always runs. And I'll be thinking about like the one that wins in blackjack is when you're consistent. You play good football. You play by the rules. That's when you win. But when you start getting outside your character, right? It's like, damn, man, we ain't gonna win. Same thing. Like, I don't ever hit on 16. But if I stay on 16, but then I start hitting, it's like
bouncing around, you're going against what made you.
Come on, you know what I'm saying? I think
do.
save the Eagles. So like now with Nick Sirianni, they get mad about his calls. I think that he's gonna find his way where, okay, I can't gamble on every 4th down because my defense ain't not strong enough right now. But when they get strong enough, I might could gamble a little bit. You get what I'm saying? Like, so it's all about learning the team. It's a marathon. It's not just like a race.
Yeah, it's a long season, man. To sit there and be down and out on them after 4 games is
But you should hear it though. I mean, it's a big market, you know, in Philadelphia. But like, they should fire. I mean, how you fire coaches every year in the playoffs and they've been to the Super Bowl and a quarterback, in my opinion, that was good. He was okay. He was okay. I'm gonna be honest, he was okay. And every year with Jalen Hurts, he gets better and better and better. You get what I'm saying? That don't happen with every player.
No, it doesn't for sure. To see him doing that, I think he's still coming into himself a little bit. Jalen is.
I think he was hurt last year because he's running more. He looks a lot fresher.
You have to have him using both his arms and his legs to make that offense dynamic, though.
There's nothing like going to see your favorite sports teams play live and in person. The hype and the atmosphere is awesome. I love going to NBA games. No matter where I'm at on the road, I'm always down to catch a game. And Gametime makes it easy. If you're like me and you're always looking for tickets to the big event, check out the Gametime app and find the best seats and the best deals for all types of events. Gametime has tickets for concerts, shows, and sports. And they make it easy to find tickets. You can browse through deals on the Gametime picks and even check out the view from your seat before you buy. They also have the amazing super deals that are such a bang for your buck. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime picks. Download Gametime today. What time is it? Gametime.
And you would speak more because you're a quarterback. But my thing is like, yo, if I'm talented and I could throw and I could run, why wouldn't I want to do that?
I think once you get into the league, sometimes it's like, you know, you only really run when you have to.
Right.
For the most part. Other than Lamar, who's just such a threat with how fast he is getting outside to be able to just, they have defenses completely mixed up and confused. But, you know, it's such a weapon on 3rd down. Like it's like one. It's
Look at
one.
Josh.
Yeah, of course.
I've been in a huddle with Josh. He said, hey, he would say, this is funny. He gonna hate me for this. He would say, hey, he would tell whoever the play's going to, the number 1 receiver, hey, if you ain't open, I'm out of there. Like if you're not
Just
open,
like that.
And Mahomes don't say that, but he do it. Man, look, he's hurt. He's dropping the ball. Fuck it, I got it. Yo, break. I got it. He's sitting there and he runs. Like Pat does. That's one thing about them type of dudes. I find the runner is so good because you could really put all the pressure on a quarterback. If you can't get open, I got it. You get what I'm saying? Like, I love that.
It's a whole different dynamic, whole different dimension to the whole thing.
Come on, maybe give me the money.
Played for two great fan bases, Philly and Buffalo.
Yeah.
Which one's more wild? Which one, you know?
That's an easy question. Which one more wild?
Buffalo. It's
Buffalo.
Gotta be
you know
Buffalo.
what? Buffalo, see, it's like you don't know nothing about Buffalo. You wouldn't love to be there, right? Because I was like that till I got there. I'm like, I love this place. First of all, great food. God, the best wings you gonna find.
I hear this. I hear this.
For real. And then they got a really great fan base. I remember the first time we had a Thursday night game in Buffalo. So we played Sunday, and then we got the game Thursday. After the game, you got all the little trailers and all that type of stuff, the RVs. They stayed. They stayed.
For the whole week.
Come on, man. Seriously, they stayed. I'm like, damn, y'all gonna stay until Thursday night? That's real fans. And then when you go to the game, you driving through, they doing wrestling moves like The Rock and Stone Cold. They throwing you through the tables. Like, they wild. But I think Philly fans, they are different though.
They are different.
Man, I watched them freaking throw snowballs at Santa Claus on Christmas. I seen so many fights. They are passionate. I love Philly fans. Philly fans are the only fans I know that if you beating us on the field, the fans are going to boo the Eagles and talk bad about them, and they're going to talk bad about whoever's winning. And they might get in a fight going to the parking lot. And it's a girl in the back with an Eagle shirt on, and she shake her head like, yes, he's right. Because I know.
Those Eagles fans are something different, man. I remember I got the chance to play in Buffalo once, and when you're driving in there, though, it really is like you're in a whole different world outside of itself. It's like you're in a whole different place.
Yo, it's really crazy because there's so many really good players, but you wouldn't really know because everybody can't play in Philly. I'll give you an example like Ben Simmons. I mean, much as people hate on Ben was a good player. Ben was an all-star player, right? The fans got him a little bit. He started playing soft. They let him have it.
He couldn't take that shit.
Never the same.
He couldn't take that shit.
Never the same. I remember playing with McNabb. People don't know how good McNabb was. McNabb was really, really good.
Really good.
But the fans would be on him so much. So sometimes I'm like, dang, man, I feel like Don don't really rock with And then as I started learning, I see why. Because he gets blamed for everything.
They're harsh on you.
Come on.
They're on your head 24/7.
But, I like that, though. Because it reminds me of my pops. My pops was really, really good with me where he always made me accountable. Yo, that ain't good enough. You told me that you want to go to college and be in the pros. Well, with these grades, you can't do none of that. So since you can't help yourself, I got to help you. So that means you ain't going out. You ain't hanging out. Give me that phone. You know what I mean? You making me accountable. Eagle fans are like that.
Yeah, they expect the most, right? They expect the championships. They're going to stay on your head the entire time until they see it.
What was probably the hardest place you ever played at? Crowd-wise, noise.
Bama is SEC stadiums are just absolutely crazy. Bama is a rowdy place. You see this Bama Georgia game they just had last week. That place is when it's rocking.
Do they hold a lot?
They what?
Do they hold a lot of fans?
Yeah, I mean they do. I think for me, seeing an SEC stadium and going through some of those places, LSU was as rowdy as it gets. We kind of got a bad weather game to where it wasn't fully packed and this and that. They were doing construction on the stadium, but as far as just that, LSU fans got a little bit of that hard ass kind of Philly fan where they're they're on your head. They're talking shit. The LSU.
Y'all stadium was big too, though. The 12th.
Yeah, Kyle Field's huge. I mean, we had 90,000 people whenever I was in school there. And now it's 108, 107. So they made it even bigger. But NFL stadiums.
No, it's not crazy, right?
Playing from when I played in college and then going there, it's just different.
Yeah.
It's just different. Playing in Pittsburgh, opening day, in Cleveland, we would play in Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh's a pretty rowdy place. Mm-hmm. They had Big Ben, AB. They had some guys who Le'Veon Bell. I mean, that opening game against them when they start doing the whole renegade shit and everything.
And then the little terrible tiles on it.
It can get pretty wild.
It's crazy. So you say that because so I didn't play at a big university like you did. So going to the league was we played in this Steelers stadium. So I'm used to that.
Yeah.
So you that's nothing for real. Because you played at them bigger schools like LSU where I remember going to Penn State for like recruiting, and that was super loud. But I've never seen that in the league. My first biggest game I think I played at that was like a lot of fans was Michigan State. I don't know if that's even like a lot.
That's up. I mean, it's up there. I think once you get into like, is there any places that are like, you know,
100. When you're in the hundreds, it's like it's a real deal. Like
100's a real deal.
Michigan, you never played them teams.
No,
Huh?
I mean 100,000 at Bama.
They hold 100,000.
I think they hold 100,000. Brian Denny's pretty big, and they're rowdy too. Were there places in the NFL that they get rowdy like that, where it gets too loud to where you can't like?
So my heart's place in the NFL, the Superdome.
I was about to say New Orleans,
right?
New Orleans.
Bro, I've never won there. I've lost there with the Bucks twice. I lost there with Philly twice. I had some good games and shit though, but like it's so loud you can't hear. Like I don't know.
It's different when you go into some of those stadiums and you literally can't hear shit.
Like,
so what do you think about modern day running back that we have right now compared to whenever you were in your prime playing?
I think more in my prime we had more elite superstar running backs, but I do think that like right now, I mean, like the best backs that the league has now, they're comparable to the best backs we had at our time, right? It's all what you like, right? I think the best back in my time was Adrian Peterson. I don't know if anybody's as good as him now, but they make a little bit more money now, the top guys. But there's not a lot of like bell cows. When I say bell cows, that do everything. Yeah. Like you not leaving the field. It
almost feels like the running back position now is a little bit of like get the guy in young. You know, obviously they're using it as more of like a tool in your salary cap type of thing to get these guys in young, play them, and a lot of guys aren't getting to that next deal a lot now.
And like dudes is like now it's crazy where dudes can be 27, 26 and don't have a job and was a first rounder. Like it's crazy. How does that work? I will say this though. It's like I don't like how the running back is going today, but I like certain things. Like I like how I give a guy like Ezekiel Elliott, phenomenal player, right? When he came on the scene, he was so good that they used him up. Let's give him 300 carries. Let's give him another 300 carries. Keep doing it. So when a brother gets to year 8, year 7, it's like, yo, the juice is slowly going. And everybody's like, oh, well, what happened to Zeke? Well,
he ran the ball.
You ran the dirt out of him. Like, what do you think's going to happen? And I think now what they're trying to do is you see a lot of really good running backs and they draft a guy in the second round, third round. Like, why are they drafting a guy so early when they got a good player? And I think to preserve him for later down the line, which in my era, they didn't do that. So if I was a bruiser, right, and I play every down and I'm get on the carries and all that, like there's no way I'm going to make it to year 6 or 7. So why would I pay you? So I get the argument from the team, but it's like, well, you are creating that monster. You get what I'm saying? Like, don't kill the running back because everybody elusive enough to not take hits and all that. And look at that guy, like Zeke is the prime example of you have a really all-star elite running back and you used him up instead of use him enough, get some pieces around him and spread the love around because Zeke was so good. Like, come on. Explosive, fast, strong, big.
Yeah, he had it all for sure.
And now you look at backs like McCaffrey. You know, he's different. He's a different breed of a player, obviously. But like even him, he got a lot of wear and tear. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, you use it for everything. I need you to have 100 catches, and I want you to go out there and rush for 1,300 yards. It's like, but this ain't a video game. You get what I'm saying? So I think it's the difference between our era and their era was, I do like how, yes, they are trying to use the running backs to preserve them from later, but it's like we got to feature the backs. Where back then, they featured us more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's so weird to see a guy like even like Derrick Henry, for example, like that's a guy that sat on the market for a little bit too, bouncing around, not getting like certain. It's just the running back position such a, it's in such kind of a little bit of a weird state, compared to those AP years where they were like they had their guys and they were getting them no matter what. If
because in our era, if you were really really good, you won't get that money. Like
for sure.
AP got paid, Chris Johnson, I got paid, Frank got paid, Arian Foster got paid. And now it's like they playing around like Saquon. What we talking about?
Crazy.
We about to argue if he should be one of the top paid running like what? But you keep Daniel Jones. See, before we leave though, hold up. Because you're a quarterback.
Crazy.
And I don't know if you with them, but I'm going against them. I don't mind the quarterbacks getting paid the most because it's the hardest position. I'm cool with that. But what I have a problem with is every other position has to be elite to get elite money. Whereas a quarterback, you can be above average and get great money, or you can be just good and get elite money. That bothers me though.
They go for it seems like, you know, if you show flashes of being that guy, you know, they pay you based on those like little bit of like flashes.
Come on, Johnny, come
listen,
on,
I agree.
man.
There's
Come
no
on,
reason.
dog.
There's no reason.
I need that Johnny football to keep it real with me.
There's no reason Saquon shouldn't be making $15, $20 million still sitting in New York.
Hold on. How are we even arguing? How are we arguing as a GM? Damn, are we gonna pay Saquon or are we gonna pay Daniel?
It's a no-brainer. I think anybody who watches football and been around the game would know that.
What's his name? Trevor Lawrence. We live in a real world today, like walking, like people having kids, driving, and this dude is the highest paid quarterback in football. How?
They got to have a guy.
Bruh, that's crazy to me though.
They got to have a guy.
And I hate to hate, but it's like, he making more than Josh. I mean, I ain't gonna sit here and just keep naming guys, but come on.
But it
now.
is crazy.
And then there's some running backs where you like, do we want to pay Saquon?
It's that timing thing, though. It's all about when they come up on that deal, and it keeps going up and up and up and up. I mean, I just
think like I feel like back then, one thing I do respect more is like in my era, you had to earn it.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like all the guys corpses getting paid, like they earned it. And even the dudes that got paid, right? Like Blake Bortles, like he got paid, but it was a reasonable contract for what he's done and where he took his team to and how good he was.
You weren't giving 5 years, 200.
Bro, they gave my man's getting $200-some million. He's making 55 a year, and he's probably the weakest dude on his team. That is crazy.
That's
crazy though.
It's happening every around the league everywhere right now. I mean, the Giants are sitting there like, damn.
Why would you pay him though? I'm not even hating on him though, because it's not even his fault. But even like Baker, right? What I will say about Baker is I feel like he earned some of that paper though.
He had to go out and get it.
That's
right?
cool. And I'm okay with he signed. I'm cool with the head coach, Todd Bowles. We played in Philly together, right? It's my man. And I'm on TV now, so I gotta do my job. So we had a boxing fight. I'm like, dog, you signed Baker Mayfield, what you doing with that? Because I'm just thinking like, y'all good team, get somebody for the future, right? I'm thinking he's probably like a plug-in player. And he says, well, look, man, he's smart dude. He's not bad, because he's not a bad quarterback. Oh. He's a good defense, make the safe passes, whatever. He's going to play good defense. And he's cheap. And it makes sense. Gave him $4 million. He goes, earns that 80 or 90 what he got. So I'm okay with that, because he actually went out there and earned it. But some of these other guys, like I haven't seen Daniel Jones earn nothing but.
Guys are getting paid around the league right now for not living up to what, they should be. Or what, and maybe a lot of it's on potential, right? Like,
I don't know, bro. Like, if you show me, I'm not the best in dating because I'm single. I don't know what you are, but it's like, she gonna get better. She gonna be better, or I might be better. And I keep doing the same thing every year. Eventually, this is who he is. This is who she is. That is who the freak he is. But I ain't hating. I just think that it's going a way where now the quarterback's going to make so much money that you can't even pay the other players. Think about it. And the players that you want to keep.
We're going to have a guy come up, make $60, $65 million a year. Like, it takes so much of your salary cap. It's going to have to, like,
I can't pay this all-pro
left tackle.
So this is my belief on it.
Right, it's getting to the point where it's a lot of money, and it's a lot of money out there for guys who are winning games.
Yeah, maybe I'm just looking for my position because like guys can be really, really good all pros and they be fighting for a contract. Like last thing before I leave, right? Because I guess it's emotional for me because I'm cool with these dudes. Like Josh Jacobs was my young boy, you know what I mean? And I remember talking to him. He leads the league in rushing. He's got a contract. They didn't even offer him. I'm like, hold up. You lead the league in rushing, right? All pro, and your team ain't like great. Ain't like you got the best lineman or something like that. And they don't even offer you a deal.
It's crazy.
Come on, dog.
It's crazy.
That's crazy.
It really is like unheard of to do something like that.
So maybe I'm just fighting for my boys. All right?
As you should be. I mean, the running backs deserve to be paid a little bit more and definitely get these RBs some deals, man.
Real quick though.
Yeah.
Because I need to know, right? This is your podcast, but I need to know something from you.
Cool.
Where did this come from though?
Man, one of our running backs on the team, Ben Molina, kind of was busting it out a little bit, and then, it just kind of blossomed into its own thing, right? I got, ended up getting a little money in college here and there. Money
That's what I
Manziel
was
took off a
thinking.
little bit. So, I mean, it was good probably up until you get to the league. You're getting in your first preseason games, or you're getting sacked and shit, and people are just
Right.
fucking. People are
But
just.
that's how you know you made it, though.
That's how you know you made it.
It's crazy. Shador Sanders, right? And everybody's like, oh, they mocking him. I said, yo, he made it. Because now it made me think of you. Like, dudes get a sack, right? Or tackle the running back, right? You on a team, he doing all this.
Yeah.
You don't even know who that dude is.
Yeah.
We never even talked. But you doing my dance or my celebration. And Shador, they do this. I said, yo, y'all don't even know y'all blowing him up. And he don't even know y'all. Like, that's like, I guess that's like
It's a little bit of homage for sure.
yeah, it's like love. You giving me love, I don't even know you doing it.
No doubt.
I like that shit. 'Cause I remember when we had Tyrod Taylor. That's my boy.
G.
And you was coming out. If your social team is really, really good, they'd have found this. You guys are. But then I said, he was coming out. I said, damn. I'm wild. I said, damn. We could get Johnny football. But Tyrod was my boy. So he was like, I was just playing. Come on. I don't want Johnny.
Shout out to Tyrod, man. I love
That's
that
my
guy.
boy, though.
He's a G. Man, this has been a great episode. Appreciate you coming on, bro. Much love. Thank you guys all for watching. We'll be back soon.
As men, hair loss is a stressful reality. No one wants to lose their hair, but for some, it's actually very common. And now with Hims, the solution is simple. Try Hims Hair Loss Solutions and you'll be joining hundreds of thousands of subscribers who got their flow back. With Hims, you can start seeing your hair grow back in as little as 3 to 6 months. Hims provides access to a range of hair loss treatments that work, all from the comfort of your couch. They offer personalized chewable, oral, spray, and serum treatment options so you can find what works best for you. The process is simple and 100% online. Just answer a few questions and a medical provider will determine if treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your treatment is sent directly to your door. Hims has hundreds of thousands of trusted subscribers, so if you feel like you're losing a part of yourself with your hair loss, get Hims and get your confidence back. Start your free online visit today at hims.com/Johnny. That's HIMS.com/Johnny for your personalized hair loss treatment options. hims.com/Johnny. Results vary based on studies of topical and oral minoxidil and finasteride. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is right for you. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information.